ever observing any of these guidelines. I see that.
Oh yeah, and that's frustrating, especially with. I mean, my parents are still alive. I know you and I have never really discussed your folks, but my parents are very cognizant of. They're older. My dad's 68. My mom's a couple years younger than that. And they know they're both smokers. They're both overweight, so they tick all the boxes of highly susceptible. And if they do get it, they're going to have a bad time with it. So they've been very cognizant of what's going on in social distancing and all of that. And so far, they've been healthy. But you never know.
You never do
and
know.
Then you got these yahoos out there. Yeah, you have these yahoos out there who are throwing parties, who are healthcare workers who should know better. And they just don't give a shit. But you're going to get somebody sick.
Well,
and, you might be fine because you're 30 years old, but the person who gets sick is 65 and overweight and has a pre-existing condition, and then they die. And that's kind of on you.
So, yeah, and I got two things on this. The first thing is you don't die with, you don't die from the virus, you die with the virus. So, if that makes sense. And a lot of people don't
you
understand
die from
that.
complications. It's like HIV and AIDS.
Right.
You don't die from AIDS. You die from complications due to AIDS.
Correct. And I think that needs to be explained a little clearer in the media, and I don't think it is. But so that's a real thing. The second thing is all these people running around like they're on vacation, just stopping their cars in the street just to have a jaw wag, within spitting distance of each other's faces. I mean, it's got to stop, man. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is something we've never seen before. This is unprecedented. And, there's lots of conspiracy theories out there, and they're always fun to think about and laugh about. But, we can look back and, you and I have talked about this before. Our government has done some terrible things to its own citizens, and it never came to light until decades later. And people do terrible things to each other every day.
Well, yeah.
Not even just the government.
I mean, yeah, MK Ultra,
Oh, yeah, Tuskegee experiment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we could go back and forth.
Yeah, the MK Ultra, I mean, it's still around. It's not called that anymore because they kept just changing the name of it. So it never went away. So they're still doing it, but it's not with...
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, it's not with LSD like it was. Now it's with a whole bunch of other shit. But they just keep changing the name and keep kicking the can down the road like, nothing to see here. This is something totally new. But it's not because all the same guys are still in charge,
Yeah, it's all those Yale grads from the 1950s who got up there and thought they had some great idea how they're going to change the world with their crazy ideas. And I appreciate thinking outside the box, but you have to take into account the personal costs of things. And these people don't care about people. They view people as a commodity.
Right.
And certain people are worth less than others, i.e. the Tuskegee experiments.
Right. And if you haven't heard of the Tuskegee experiments, you can look that up online anywhere. Tons of information, tons of knowledge on that. All right, Jake, let's do one last Jake take on a question here. All right, the question is, 5G towers, are they to blame for the virus?
The 5G towers. Now, there was something the other day. Now, well, first off, I got to say no. There was something the other day, some infographics video that I only watched some of the text. I didn't watch the video, so I can't speak to it. But apparently there's some concerns that the 5G towers might be making people sick. Again, didn't watch the video. I don't know what's going on. But what I think a lot of people are afraid of is whenever you hear the word radiation, they think radioactive. But
Right.
radiation is all types of light, all types of particles. Well, not all types of particles. I should correct that. All types of wavelengths of electromagnetic energy. So anything as small as a gamma ray, all the way as big as a microwave, and everything in between. Red light, blue light, yellow light. All of those are different types of electromagnetic radiation. They're just light.
Right.
But they're energetic, and they're particles and waves at the same time. But yeah, so if somebody says gamma radiation, beta radiation, alpha radiation, that's the stuff that you should be afraid of. If somebody just says radiation, you need to be able to ask, well, what type? Is it microwave? Microwaves are actually very, very big in comparison to gamma radiation, which is the stuff that's going to wreck your body.
Right, or turn you into the Hulk.
Microwaves are actually bigger. Yeah. Well, with Bruce Banner.
So that's not bad. Maybe we want gamma rays because maybe we want to be the Hulk. That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, there's something to be said about genetic mutations, and some of them are beneficial and others are not. So the only way to figure out is blast yourself with a bunch of gamma rays and see if you can get laid. And if the baby survives, you're successful.
Yeah. So I thought it's fun to think that the 5G towers are actually Nikola Tesla's death ray that they finally figured out how to create.
That's an interesting supposition. I don't think they're going to be arcing around like some of his death towers were, or at least in the mind's eye. I always pictured Nikola Tesla's towers just cracking this electrical energy. Now, are these the towers that, who was it, Mellon or J.P. Morgan?
Yes.
Bought off of Tesla because it was going to be free energy and it was going to destroy the energy industry?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen a working model of one of those.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a thing. There's plans for it. Somebody rich bought the rights to it. I don't know what his name was, but yeah, I mean, it's a real thing. And I was thinking, man, Nikola Tesla made a death ray and he had the plans and specs for it. He never figured out how to make it happen. And I'm like, man, that's what it is. The 5G tower is the death ray, man.
I mean, there's problems with it just from a technological standpoint. They don't have a very far reach, so you need much more of them as opposed to the 4Gs. And the G just stands for generation. The G doesn't stand for anything outside of just generation.
I read online that it stood for gamma ray. That's what I read.
No, now you're making shit up, Adam. You want Jake's take? That's bullshit.
5G. The G stands for gamma.
5 gammas. No.
Burning your mind.
It stands for the generation.
I'm going to start that rumor. See if it grows legs. I bet it does.
Like Dan Marino's dead.
Yes. I remember this was years ago. I think it was either you and I or Lucy and myself. We started a rumor that Ashton Kutcher died, and it got like out of control, and everybody thought Ashton Kutcher died.
Now, see, that's a Lucy thing because she did the one where Gerald Ford died before he had died, and Dan Marino died, and he's not dead. And this stuff would spread around our college campus.
That was her.
I would hear it, and I'm like, I know who came up with that. I was like, I know that's not true because I know who made up that lie.
And that was before you could just go on the internet and fact check anything. So people were like, "Oh my God, Dan Marino died."
Oh, no, this is back in the day when we had 4Fact at the University of Pittsburgh, and you would call them up, and they would basically do a Google search for you.
Right.
But with how ubiquitous Google is nowadays, it became unnecessary, so they stopped funding the project. But you could literally call this number and ask them a question. You didn't have to be a Pitt student. You could be anybody. I've had like friends of mine back in Philadelphia call them up and be like, just ask them like a random question. And, you know, they might put you on hold for 5 minutes, but they come back and they have an answer for you. Or at least they did back in the day.
That's hilarious. I wonder if Dan Marino's alive right now. I wonder.
Dan Marino's alive, yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to fact check that. We'll see. But
Pretty
yes.
sure Gerald Ford is dead, but Dan Marino, I'm pretty sure, is alive.
See, I can't, in my mind, I can't place if Gerald Ford is dead or Jimmy Carter.
No, Jimmy Carter's alive. He's Habitat for Humanity.
Okay. So that's the one that's living. Okay.
Yeah. He is indestructible. You cannot kill him. He will outlive us all.
Well, you figure his diet is red meat and peanuts. So, I mean, what does that tell you?
Peanut farmer.
Right. Red meat and peanuts is his diet. It's a secret to success. All right. So anyway, this has been our pilot episode of Jake's Take. We hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for tuning in and telling a friend. We're going to have more shows to come. You can send us an email via our Facebook page over at the Steel Plaza Podcast. Tell us what you think and what you would like Jake's Take to be on next time. And we'll see you right back here.